Blah. Y'all already know what it is. Your boy Yaakov, what it do. The outlet to reality, the holders podcast in Vegas and Chicago. What up? This is the place where you want to hide from your drama or maybe hide from your baby mama. Just kidding. Y si tú quieres cambiar tu vida, if you want to change your life, then subscribe. Cha-ching. And by the way, guys, I just published a book called Shabbat in Chicago. It's about an audacious single mom who opens her heart and home to five adopted kids while embracing her Latino culture. And today we have a very, very special guest. Consider my friend. She's a realtor. Give it up for the one and only Palmira. What's up? What?
What's up? Hello. And good morning.
Morning, morning.
Or afternoon, or, whatever time you're, or night, or whatever time they're listening.
Right, right. It's true. It's true. I'm so happy you're here because you've been the hardest guest to ever have. I know you're a busy person, always on the move. So I'm like, man, when can I get her here? And I'm so happy I bumped into you this week. So it was a pleasure. I do want to share a little story, my favorite moments, if I can share with the audience. So I'm
Yes.
gonna I'm gonna be honest. So Jasmine had a little get together, like an event. It was a lot of realtors there, and it was like this place. I forgot the name, but it's a furniture place at Tavili Village. And I
hmm
see Palmira. I'm not lying. She walks in with her little blazer, and I saw a little conversation. I dance cumbia.
hmm
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. And it was really short, real quick conversation. I could tell she was real quiet, really observant. I said, okay, she's smart, She's very smart. And then I got invited to USA versus Puerto Rico, and it was the squad. We have Iliana, Jasmine, and Palmira, and I'm so happy, right?
Yes.
Second time I'm meeting
The,
her, right?
the Three Musketeers.
Right, right. You know it. So I see them, and this is the first time I see Palmera. She's very casual. She ain't no wearing no blazer, and she, she's a little bit more comfortable, a little loosened up. And we go to the game, right? And I was like, I don't really know her, right? I know everybody else, but I don't really know Palmera. So I'm like, let me see. And so Jasmine, like at the middle of the game, they went to the bathroom. It's like 2 seats away from me. So I moved close to her. I sat down and I was like, open up so I get to know a little bit about her. And I noticed when I start making Palmira laugh, that's when I know she's finally comfortable. You know what I'm saying? And she's
Yeah.
asked
Yeah, breaking that ice, right?
exactly, exactly. And so it was so nice. She was very, very kind. She was asking about like what made you move to Vegas, your podcast. To the game, we were walking together and she was saying how she loves Mexico and that it's like her little escape when she goes. I was like, okay, girl, all right, all right. I see it. I see it. But then the best part is that when you came to my book event, my first one ever in September, you came in, you brought the three musketeers, like you were saying, and we're sitting in our table, right? And you pull me to the side. You're like, hey, Yaakov, Dave, I got a quick question for you. I'm like, oh, snap. What's the question? I'm a little scared. She's like, I noticed when I was reading your book that every time you mention God, you put G dash D. And I was curious why. And I said, look, that's a great question. I'm like, you're the first person to ever ask that. And I'm honored. I said, look, well, in Judaism, we believe that we're not even in his level to give him respect because he's so holy. We spell out his whole name. We actually consider him like the name we use is Hashem, the name we can't say, basically. And so I shared it with you, and I thought it was a beautiful moment because I'm like, dang, I've gotten a lot of questions from different audience, but yours was so unique and so detailed. I'm like, dang, she's smart. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
So that
well,
was
wow. okay.
right?
Yes. I remember asking that question because yeah, throughout your book you do so you like Hashem, and there's other names too, right, that you use.
Yeah,
Um but then, like, yeah, I noticed a pattern, right, of the word God. It was not like all spelled out. So yeah, like I was very curious to know like why. And when you told me, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, you know what? I never like thought I was gonna get that answer, but like I liked it, right? Because I thought it was gonna be some other type of answer, like I don't know. I kind of I thought it was going to be any other answer than the one you gave me, like, oh, he's like the almighty, we as, mere mortals, right? We're not even you know not allowed, but like it's not we're not like worthy, of like saying his, or writing or saying his name. Like, oh, okay, yeah, I mean, he is, like the almighty, the, everything, and yeah, I mean, I just didn't think that we couldn't say, like, God. I don't know. So it was interesting, but to find out like the reason why not spelling it out. So
thank you, girl. That was beautiful. That is beautiful. I do, and I appreciate you. That's what I mean. Like you're very, honest person, and I love when people are curious because that's how we grow. If you don't ask questions,
Mhm,
we
mhm.
we don't grow. And Palmira, if you could share too, like, what's your favorite memory of us? Like, we've had a lot of hangouts already. I lost count, but what is your
Yes.
memory that, or something that stood out that you could remember that, I don't know about me that when we met, or anything.
Well, I mean, I don't know if I could say I have like a favorite, because every time like we're together and we meet, I mean, it's like awesome, it's always really good and nice to be around you. But if I have to pick one, it would all come back to that, that very first time, because like how they say first impressions. So yeah, that's the one that kind of stays with you. And so I remember meeting you, the first time, but like you said, it was, very brief. And it was a little overwhelming, like the whole event, helping Jasmine and everything. So um, what I most remember was that time that we were hanging out at that game. It was awesome. It was amazing. I got to know you a little better. And I mean, the girls speak like highly, about you. And I had already known a little bit more about you through them. But hanging out at that game was, is like what I remember about you, like getting to know you a little better. And just that uh, beautiful person that you are. Just, very happy and humble, and just welcoming. It really, stood out with me. It feels very comfortable to be around you. So,
Oh,
and yeah, it was just, great to hang out with you and all us the girls, and that was fun. So I
oh,
think that moment cemented like our our friendship. Like from there on, we felt like we've known each other for forever, right?
it's so true. It's so true. I do want you to share a little bit. So we were supposed to have a brunch get together. And I love this, right? I'm texting Palmera. We're so excited. She loves Thai food, by the way. I love Thai food too.
Yes.
And we were about to go and have like, a regular, business slash meeting.
Yeah, we
Hanging.
were gonna talk your book.
Right, right.
Yeah.
And I was so excited. I'm like, man,
Yeah.
we're gonna plan this. And so I'm excited. I realized that Amir was trying to reach me. And we already said the day, okay, ladies and gentlemen. Like 10 messages. Ding, ding, ding. And I haven't seen it because I'm busy, right? And so I was like, yo, what's going on? So she calls me. She's like, man, I can't get a hold of him. And she calls me. I say, she's like, Dave, where you at? I'm like, what do you mean? I'm here at the Thai restaurant waiting for you. I'm like, what you mean? And she's like, no, for real. I said, girl, it was supposed to be tomorrow. And she's like, oh no. And then the funny thing is, she's like, dang, you're not here. I was like, look, girl, I'm gonna be honest. You already got dressed up. Your boy ain't looking fly. I can't go out like this. And you start laughing. And it's funny because after that, I'll never forget that moment. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yes. Oh
it'll
yeah.
always be our favorite.
Yeah. It's a memory that's gonna go down the history forever and eternity. Oh my
um,
goodness. Yes, yes. And actually you know what? I don't even know like what happened to me. I was like really sure that that was the date, and I've for whatever reason, I think I even like thought that I had confirmed with you the day before, but I confirmed with you, but I guess we never talked about like the actual day or date that it was. And in my head, like the night before, I don't know if you remember, like I confirmed, and but yeah, you confirmed for, like our appointment for the day that it was. And I thought it was like the very next day. So I'm like running, go dropping off my daughter and this and that and everything. And and then I get there, and and I remember because I wasn't very sure about if that was, the Thai restaurant that you were talking about, because there was a confusion about the name. Remember?
yeah.
So I said, I might be in the wrong one. Let me just text them. So I'm like, hey, what's the Thai restaurant's name that you said? And then you confirmed it. I'm like, okay, this is the one. I'm like, I'm here. Are you on your way? And he's like, no, I'm home. Oh my God. I was like, when I realized I had the wrong date, I was like, oh my God. Oh man, that was something.
Oh man, it was epic, epic.
Yes.
We definitely gotta try again, part two, part two. This time I'll
Yes.
be fresh and ready. I do
And
want.
I'll be right on time on the actual date that we set it for.
Thank you, girl. Thank you, girl. Now I do want you to share, right? For a lot of people, you're into real estate, doing open houses. I want you to share us, right, your journey or transition on how you felt like this was your calling, and like if anybody inspire you, any mentors, if you can, share that too, that'd be amazing.
Hmm. Well, uh, it actually the whole real estate thing, it was just kind of like I'm not gonna say, or I'm gonna say, like an accident, but in this life there's no accidents. There's always a reason. And now I come, like from now, I look back and I say, well, I came into real estate for a reason, because along the way, and very shortly after I got introduced into like the whole real estate industry and everything, I realized I love this. This is my passion, and this is like what I love doing. And but I wasn't looking for it or anything. I was working with the mortgage company, and I met a real estate agent, and he was the one that kind of introduced me to the real estate part of it, like being a real estate agent and all that. um at that time he was in need of, back then they were just calling me, an assistant. Nowadays they're called transaction coordinators, because they're like, coordinating all the transactions, and they're doing all the behind scene work, and all that stuff, paperwork and the good stuff. um, so I started working with him. He just happened to be the number one agent for that office, the top producer, and I actually learned a lot. He was a great mentor, an amazing mentor. And like I said, everything happens for a reason. Like I was not looking for that, and I just happened, to get introduced to this industry, not, just like, casually or normally. It was no, it was like by the one and only, agent that's, it was the number one agent on that office. So yeah, I was really, blessed to be working with him. He taught me a lot of things. I learned really fast, and shortly after that, I got my license, and that's how it all started. Then, then now I'm here, and that was actually back in 2002. That's when I started. I
Whoa.
was living in California. So yeah, that's where I started my real estate career, in California back in 2002. So I've been doing this for, I mean, you do the math, for a long time. I mean, I did take a break when I got married and I had kids. My girls, I wanted to make sure I dedicated time to them, and I took a break. But then, when something is your passion and you love doing something, it's just a matter of time you're going to be doing it again. So yeah, that's how I got introduced to real estate. I had, like, my main mentor was that real estate agent. His name is Armando Sandoval. He's still a real estate agent, and he's still, top producer in his office and everything. Biggest mentor that I could have had. And then, other than that, I've always been interested in books, personal development, sales tactics, and all that. So books have been my mentors too. So yeah, that's that's my story about real estate.
Wow, that's amazing. I didn't know you lived in Cali. That's for me, that's like big news. I'm like, oh snap. Te
See.
fuiste, te fuiste. You left Cali and you came to Vegas. And I'm gonna be honest,
Mhm.
how being that big transition, like you like Vegas more, and like if you do, why? Like what kind of push you to come here? Like I know it's a Sin City, but anything can happen. But what makes you move? Like I'm very curious.
What made me move to Vegas?
Yeah.
It was like a family decision. Um, we had family that moved here first. We started visiting a lot, and first, before moving to Vegas, we had moved to Arizona. And so we were in Arizona prior to moving here to Vegas. So when we decided to move here, we were, in Arizona, and we were coming to visit this family member here in Vegas a lot, like a lot. So we said, you know what? So we talked about it, and we said, it's a bigger city, more opportunities, and maybe even me considering, the real estate and all that. I said, if I'm gonna go and back to what I love doing and everything, now that my daughters are older, and I can focus and back into my career, I think Vegas would be the city to do it, because we were not thinking about moving back to California, because we were in Arizona. So we liked it here. Living in California, we used to come to Vegas a lot too. Like it was like our, little getaway. Because it's a short drive, and even a short flight as well. So it was like a little getaway when we went in California. But it was just different, you at that time we were just coming for, you know, just a little weekend, a couple of days, and it was just to enjoy, like the strip and what tourists do, right? It was like a different type of visit back then. But then when that family member moved here and we started visiting Vegas, it was like in a whole different aspect, right, we started getting to know like the city, like the neighborhoods, and everything, and we were like, oh, it's different. It's different than the strip, so we really liked it. And like I said, we were talking about moving and getting back into my career. So that's when we decided Vegas would be the city. And now, with our girls being a little older, they liked being in a bigger city and all that. So, yeah, that's why we moved. We moved here.
That's a lot of movements, but you know what? I
Yeah.
always say, I give you credit, girl, because I left, Chicago and I moved to
Hmm.
I didn't have no family and friends out here when I moved here. So it's like a
Yes,
big,
that's big change,
big, and I was scared. I'm not gonna lie. I was a little nervous in the beginning because I'm like, what happens if something happened? I don't have anybody to rely, on.
What
So
happens if
it's a
nothing happens, right?
right, right. Te digo algo, right? One day I was eating a chicken, right? I had a whole chicken. I cooked it, and I was eating one of the legs, right? And I was eating it, and I got choked. Like I got choked, and I really thought I was gonna die. And I was like, I had like a teardrop coming because I couldn't breathe. I couldn't breathe.
Hmm.
And I'm by myself, and there's no water by me, like or anything. And I was like, I'm
Hmm.
about to die. And I was like, this might be my last moment. And the thing is, if I really die, nobody's gonna know that I died because who's gonna
Hmm.
check my apartment? You know what I'm saying? Who's gonna check where I live?
Right, nobody's with you. Yes.
Right?
Oh wow, what an experience. That is true. I can imagine, like just being by yourself, knowing that you're by yourself in your apartment, and not just in your apartment, but like in the whole city, right? It's like, my family doesn't even live close by. Oh my goodness. I can imagine all the things that went through your head at that moment.
Man, I was doing my last prayer too. I was like, Papa Dios, help me out because I don't know if I gonna make it. I need your help. And finally, I was able to get it out, but I was thankful, and
Wow.
it was a moment that I really thought I was gonna die, and I never forget it. Right? I make sure I cut it, in the small, don't trust myself no more. I gotta be cautious, But yeah, that
No,
was
no caveman style, like grabbing the leg and
right, right. My favorite style, and I can't do it no more. It breaks my heart. So
Uh,
it was really tough, man. So I'm really happy that you made that big transition. I see a lot of good things happening for you, and it's just beautiful. I want to share. I'm always for women empowerment. I gotta represent my queens, my people, and without them we won't be here. So I realize in real estate, right? There's been a lot of incidents I've seen. I was looking it up, right? New York Times, and how it could be scary for a woman to go to do an open house, right? You're with a stranger by yourself, right? There's a lot of things that could happen, and you hear stories, right? And I remember there was this class that was teaching here in Nevada. They were saying how like don't put like a picture of yourself in your car because they'll know what you drive, what car you have. Even though you're promoting yourself, you don't know if there's a creeper or someone who's creep or stalker. He'll know where you at, and you always got to protect yourself, right? I think I'm a big advocate for that. We got to protect our queens. And it was amazing. If you can share a little bit what you shared like 3 or 4 days ago when I saw you,
mhm.
please. I mean a lot.
Yes. Absolutely. Yeah, I remember we're talking about that. And it's you were saying it's dangerous, especially for women, obviously, because so men are considered to be like, stronger, and also, if there's gonna be like an attack or anything like that, well, obviously they're gonna try to go with the weakest, um which would be considered like the females. And then especially if you're petite, and stuff, they're like the easy prey. um but it doesn't only happen to women. I was sharing with you about the incident, I mean the tragedy, about that story that we heard about this real estate agent, and he a guy, right? And somebody killed him. Showing He was showing properties, and they just left him in the closet. And we do hear, not a lot, but we do have stories like that about, real estate agents being assaulted and stuff like that. So I think that has brought a lot of awareness within the real estate community, or the realtors, and even right now, the LVR, they're even offering a class. Remember I was showing you? It's like a certification. It's called the Concealed Carry Weapon Certificate, so that you could go and get the training and all that, and get certified, so you can conceal carry. So you can carry your own weapon if you choose to, and defend yourself. You know.
Wow. That's beautiful. We need that because I'm very for it.
Mm-hmm.
I want my girls to be safe. I want if my wife is working, I want to make sure she's good too. And
Mm-hmm.
I think it's very important. You gave me an idea. I just thought about to share this with you because you're the first. So
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing a lot of TikTok videos showing self defense where someone breaks into your
Mm-hmm.
house and it's like a guy like grabbing me or he's choking me
Mm-hmm.
and how to get out of. And I make it real quick, like 10 seconds. But it's nice. A lot of people have been messaging me like saying, "Wow, thank you for showing me how to, protect myself."
Mm-hmm.
Got a lot of comments to show like put a woman there and she's defending herself. So it kind of shows that we know how to fight
Mm-hmm.
too. And I said,
Yes.
I think we should do a collab. My opinion, do a
Mm-hmm.
collab, you and me, Palmira, and I show you like little movements, and you be like, we'll post it. Of course, I'm gonna tag my girl, and I think it'd be nice to show like different stuff, and I think it'll be so beneficial because when they see you, right, you being a strong, independent, beautiful woman, they're gonna see like, wow, she know how to, protect herself. And I think it'd be so
Got
cool.
some moves.
Yeah, she got some moves. I'm like, dang, now I'm even scared. I think it'd be cool because a lot of these women that are into realtor, whatever it may be, they look at you like a leader. And they're like, if she can do it, anybody can do it. So I think
Mm-hmm.
I just thought
Yeah.
about that. I think we is tag team. My opinion. I don't know what you think, but
Yes.
I would love to have you.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, for sure. For sure. We can do it. And it's true, just to, bring a little awareness of, like, it's not so much about, how strong you are. Like, you might not be strong, but it's about the technique, right? If you're not stronger than the person that's attacking you, but you might have a technique that works, and you don't have to be stronger than that person to, utilize that technique that, that you've learned. um and you just never know, that might actually save your life. So yeah, I think it's a great idea. We should do it.
Thank you, girl. Thank you, girl. Well,
You know what? There's another thing also I wanted to share. I mean, most of the realtors probably they know, because this is something that we do have, and I wanted to share it with you too. On our real estate app, the app that we use to open the lock boxes for the properties. There is like a built-in feature in there where once you open a door, it gives you an option to click, like, if I'm okay, so you dismiss that alert. If if you were to be in danger or something happened to you when you open that door, and you don't click that button saying, okay, I'm okay, in your app, um then that it sends an alert to someone that you shoes on your app. You know, you put the phone number of whoever you want, you know, like your husband or your partner or your broker, you know, anybody, whoever you want to choose in there, and it sends them an alert.
Oh,
So, um, you know, if anything were to happen to you and that little trigger comes out and they get that alert, then you know, then they call you, and if you're not answering, you know, then they know, hey, you know, something's going on. So, because I've had that little alert gotten triggered by accident, and so I have my boyfriend in there, you know, as the number. So he got an alert, and sometimes, you know, like when it's an accident, he texts me, you know, are you okay? And if I don't reply right away, he calls me, you know, and then so, you know, I answered and said, you know, it's you know, I was an accident, you know, I'm okay, you know. But you know, if it was something, you know, that for real something happened, um, you know, he gets the alert, he calls me, he texts me, no, I'm not answering, and he knows, you know, like I usually do, you know, reply, oh sorry, it was an accident. You know, if in an occasion, you know, I don't reply, he calls me, I don't answer and all that, then he knows something's, you know, something's wrong. And then he gets the alert, or like where I'm at, like the property that I open, the address and everything. So that's a really good feature that we realtors have on that app, you know, for when we're showing. So if there was any realtors out there that didn't know about that feature, go ahead and set it up, turn it on, and you know, and use it.
ooh, I love it. Ooh, I learned something new. I love it. The Outlet to Reality, the holdest podcast in Vegas and Chicago every Tuesday. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Ching. Y'all know where to find me. I'm on Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, the Outlet to Reality. My Snapchat is Take One Pass It, and my TikTok is at Yaakov28. And Palmira, where can my fans find you?
I'm in social media, Instagram. You can find me by my name, Palmira Mannings. I think Instagram says Pammy Mannings, but then on the bottom it says Palmira. Facebook, same name, Palmira Mannings.